Hey everyone, it's Stasha Eriksen, and I am back with another news story for all of you. It is November the 18th of 2016, and it's a Friday evening, and I am coming to you live and direct from my house in Norway. And wow, I have a very interesting news story to share with all of you today. I've been kind of scanning the media. Again, the world media, it's still very heavily interlaced with Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton rhetoric. And quite frankly, I'm just kind of sick of it at this point. I'm a little shocked it's still going on. I've seen both President Obama and Hillary Clinton uh, come on air over the past week and are basically encouraging the protesters to keep fighting. They're not asking them to stop the violence at all. And when I've been scanning CNN a lot, I have only really seen news stories about Trump supporters that apparently attacked minorities or people of the LGBT community. But I have literally not seen any stories about, well, at least very few stories about how violent the Hillary protesters have actually been towards Trump supporters. So I still am seeing a very biased media coming from CNN. There was also some reports that came out within the past week that Google is trying to crack down on fake news stories. And I think it's very funny that myself and others have been spending a lot of time bringing attention to the fact that many of our news stories are fake or faked, for ratings or, viewership, whatever. And so it's very interesting now to see basically the main news outlet that I consider to be fake news, which is CNN. Well, not fake news, but very biased news. That they're now coming forth with this campaign to say they're going to stop biased or fake news stories. So that's another thing I noticed this week. So if you want to check out, just go to Google and type in Google is trying to shut down fake news stories, and then you can see a little bit of an article and some information about that. But that's not what today's video is going to be about from my perspective, but that's just kind of overall what I saw happening within the past week. The people that should be out there telling everyone to calm down aren't. They're telling everybody to keep fighting. And anytime I'm, giving my opinion on this matter, I'm getting attacked as well. So there's many other way more important things going on in the world right now. And I am here to focus on other things that I believe are really affecting humanity. I did a video just a few days ago on nanotechnology. Please take a look at that video. I know the screenshot's a little scary. Some zombies with their iPhones, but there's a reason that that's the screenshot. I talk a lot about how technology is trying to merge with the human system. This is also known as transhumanism. That's another term that you can look up. But essentially, they're trying to kind of mix man with machine, iron with clay. It's what the new movie Ghost in the Shell with Scarlett Johansson is all about. So nanotechnology and everything that I'm about to talk about today is also intertwined. I'm starting to believe this is really a war of man versus technology at this stage. And the one thing that I do know about technology is that it seems to be very linked to demonic forces or fallen angels, if you will. Even if you read the Bible and you look throughout the past of history, every single time that there was like another civilization that came to humanity and gave them something, it usually turned out bad in the end. Whether it was Prometheus giving fire to the humans, or whether it was Gabriel changing the language and at the time of Babel and all of that, when everyone had to change the languages so that nobody could understand each other anymore. I just think it's kind of shady when human beings don't create things themselves and we're getting things at a rapid pace from an outside source. It's a little frightening to me, because I have to think, what is the real agenda here? Why is everyone, even little children, totally intertwined with their cell phone at this stage? So I started thinking about nanotechnology, and I got a lot of great feedback from a lot of you. My view counts are still crazy low. I don't know what's going on. Like, I have so many comments and so little views, it doesn't seem to balance out. But for everybody out there who is watching and commenting, I want to thank you for your feedback. You know, I'm not trying to be a news broadcaster or a newscaster, but I'm trying to bring the news stories that I believe are getting overlooked by the end of each week. And I think that there's a lot of distractions going on with the presidential election, and I want to get onto the more important matters that I truly feel are affecting humanity. And that is this whole man versus machine debate that's going on. Transhumanism versus a real human. So please watch the nanotechnology video if you get a chance, either before or after you watch this one, so that you can see how what I'm about to bring to you today is so intertwined with this bigger picture, you know, that it's not even funny. So basically, what I do is I'm kind of subscribed to multiple news outlets so that I don't get a biased perspective in one way or the other. And so I try to scan the world media about a news story in several different sources. So how this started for me was I actually came across the video on CNN. Since I don't live in Norway, I'm subscribed to CNN's YouTube channel. And I know everything from live CNN doesn't make it to YouTube, but I do believe that they pick and choose the YouTube clips based on their agenda. So I like to scan to see what CNN have uploaded on their YouTube channel, because there's usually a theme in the programming. So I came across this video, and it was just a 3.5-minute video, and the title said, "Security Firm, Smartphone User Data Sent to China." Okay, what is this all about? So I start watching the video, and there was an internet security analyst by the name of Hemu Nigam, and he was discussing concerns over smartphone security. So apparently what happened is a bunch of Android phones had an app installed with them, pre-installed. Whenever you got your Android phone, this app was already installed. And apparently this app was some type of a security hack that had been put in place by China when all of these Android phones were created. Well, apparently the data that they had been collecting was personal data, as personal as your text message, your phone calls, anything you're doing on your phone, and it was going directly to a Chinese organization. What is this all about, I wanted to say. And it was such a quick little video on CNN, and they really brushed it off as if it was nothing. So I thought, okay, so what I will do is I will give you guys the link to the CNN video first that I landed on. Then I thought, okay, this is the way CNN is presenting it. Now the analyst, to be honest, he wasn't, defending what had happened. He was trying to explain exactly what it was, what had happened, and how it would work to where it would totally, invade everybody's privacy that essentially owned an Android phone, and all of their personal information would be going to China. It's, pretty big deal. So then a light bulb went off over my head, and I remembered the whole deal about Obama signing the internet over to the UN, and it was backed by China. And I'd done a video about this not so long ago when I made a video called YouTube Heroes, The End of Internet Freedom. Another video that got heavily filtered out and almost nobody saw that, but I did that about a month ago. You can check out on my channel. And I talk about when Obama gave the internet to the UN and China on October 1st of 2016. I'm sitting here at November 18th of 2016, so it's only been a month and a half or something since he's done this. And then suddenly this news story pops up. And I don't watch every single video that CNN uploads, but I get guided to certain things. So after I start watching the video, and the news, anchor, she's interviewing him, this analyst, and he's trying to break it down. And he did his best to explain it, but I thought, I'm not really satisfied with that. I want to go a little bit further and find some more information kind of about this. So what I did was I went and just typed the same search term into Google, and I found another kind of geek website, which I'm starting to find that you want to get your news, you're going to find it from the tech nerd geek websites, because they're probably the only ones that aren't biased here. So I found a website called The Hacker News. Now there's a bunch of other sites and periodicals that posted about this, but I'm going to leave you guys the link and show you some screenshots from this particular article that I found, because I found it to be the most just made the most sense to me, the most coherent article I could find. So this article stated, pre-installed backdoor on 700 million Android phones, sending users data to China. Okay, this article was posted Tuesday, November 15th, so this is just 3 days ago. It's basically when this happened, or when they found out that it happened. So 700 million Android phones that are out in the world right now have this pre-installed backdoor app which sends your user data directly to China. And this includes text messages, phone calls, anything personal, your Facebook login information, you name it. So let's hear more about this. Okay, and so the article says, do you own an Android smartphone? You could be one of those 700 million users whose phone is secretly sending text messages to China every 72 hours. You heard that right. Over 700 million Android smartphones contain this secret backdoor, and they're sending all of your text messages, call logs, contact lists, location history, and app data to China every 72 hours. What is this about? Now, security researchers from CryptoWire discovered the alleged backdoor hidden in the firmware of many budget Android smartphones sold in the United States, which covertly gathers data on phone owners and sends it to a Chinese server without users knowing. Okay, now the word discovered is highlighted here so you can find out exactly what went down. There's a link outside from CryptoWire. They're the ones that actually discovered the backdoor, so you can see the data and the tech that goes into that. But wow, so many of the budget Android smartphones, kind of meaning the cheaper ones, the ones that are probably everybody has, these are the ones, 700 million. Now, this was first reported by the New York Times on Tuesday, and the backdoored firmware software is developed by China-based company Shanghai AddUps Technology, which claims that its software runs updates for more than 700 million devices worldwide. Now, infected Android smartphones worldwide. Moreover, it is worth noting that AddUps provides its software to much larger handset manufacturers, such as ZTE and Huawei, which sell their Android phones worldwide across over 150 countries and regions. So if you have a phone made out of either one of those manufacturers, you most likely have the backdoor as well. Now, besides sniffing SMS message content, contact lists, call logs, location data, and other personal information, and automatically sending them to AddUps every 72 hours, AddUps software also has the capability to remotely install and update applications on a smartphone. So it can install and update any applications at once in the background on your phone without you even giving permission or being aware of it. Now, the secret backdoor is said to be there intentionally and not accidentally or due to a security flaw, although, according to the U.S. authorities, at the moment it is unclear whether the data is being collected for advertising purposes or for government surveillance. Oh my goodness. Now, CryptoWire says the company discovered the secret backdoor on the Blue R1 HD device sold by Florida-based smartphone manufacturer BLU Products, which sells its devices in the US and some other countries from South America online through Amazon and Best Buy. Everybody gets their technology through Amazon and Best Buy. It's pretty scary. Okay, let's see here. Now, massive amount of users' data sent to Chinese servers. Based on the received commands, the security firm found the software executing multiple operations detailed below. Collect and send SMS text to AddUps server every 72 hours. Send the call logs every 72 hours. Send user personally identifiable information to AddUps every 24 hours. Collect and send the smartphone's IMSI and IMEI identifiers. Collect and send geological information. Oh my god. So your geolocation, sorry, they'll basically be able to tell you your location. Collect and send a list of apps installed on the user's device. Download and install apps without the user's consent or knowledge. Update or remove apps. and update the phone's firmware and reprogram the whole device. They can also execute remote commands with elevated privileges on the user's device. And no, users can't disable or remove the backdoor. The backdoor has been discovered in 2 system applications. Oh my God, and neither of which can be disabled or removed by the user. On contacting BLU Products, confirmed that approximately 120,000 of its smartphones have the AddUp software installed, which is being removed from its devices. BLU Products has identified and quickly removed a recent security issue caused by a third-party application which has been collecting unauthorized personal data in the form of text messages, call logs, and contacts from customers using a limited number of BLU mobile devices, the company said in a statement. Our customers' privacy and security are of the utmost importance and priority. The affected application has since been self-updated, and the functionality verified will be to be no longer collecting or sending this information. Now, besides BLU Products, CryptoWire immediately notified Google, AddUps, as well as Amazon, which is the exclusive retailer of the BLU R1 HD, of its findings. Google also issued a statement saying that the company is working with all affected parties to patch the issue, though the tech giant said that it doesn't know how widely AddUps distributed software. However, according to AddUps, its software featured on the smartphone tested by the security firm was not intended to be included on smartphones in the United States market and was just designed to help Chinese phone manufacturers to monitor user behavior. But what were they monitoring? That's what I'd like to know. Now there's an update here. A spokesperson for ZTE USA provided the Hacker News an official statement from the company, which reads, "We confirm that no ZTE devices in the US have ever had the AddUp software cited in recent news reports installed on them, and will not. ZTE always makes security and privacy a top priority for our customers. We will continue to ensure customer privacy and information remain protected." So this is what they're trying to say. They're telling us basically that they did everything. They're saying that it wasn't intended. Then they're saying they're removing it. There's so many different stories within this one article that it's really hard to wrap your head around what they're actually saying here. First they say it can't be removed, then they say they're removing it, but they're not telling anybody what the data is. They say they're collecting customer data, but why and what for? Is it just to know how to advertise products, to sell them things, to upsell? That I can understand. Companies do that. But every 24 to 72 hours updating via text messages? That's really, really intrusive and pretty scary. So this is out there. This is probably on your Android phone. So I would say if you've got an Android phone and you don't feel safe and you don't want China to have your information, get rid of it and get another phone. There's many other manufacturers, and you don't always have to have the newest, best, most up-to-date thing. A phone should just be for making phone calls. I don't know why people need to have their whole life revolving out of the palm of their hand. It's kind of crazy. Okay, so it's bad enough that they just brushed over this on CNN as if it was nothing. They didn't explain that everybody that had this phone would be affected. They didn't explain maybe even when this batch of phones went out. Was it 2014, 2015, 2016? When was it? And why did it take a hacking firm to discover this? Why couldn't they, be honest with everybody about it from the beginning? So it's pretty scary because 700 million people is a lot of people. I mean, that's a lot of people, and with all your personal information going to China and not knowing what that's about, everybody needs to know about this. They sure got on the news and told everybody when the S-Note 7's batteries were blowing up. Why can't they tell everybody that 700 million people's privacy is being sent, or not only invaded, but being sent directly to China for whatever purpose? It's serious business. And so this is what brings me back to remind you guys yet again that Obama gave up the American internet control to the UN on October 1st, 2016. Now I have a link below for you in the box. It is from the Political Insider. And this talks all about Obama giving up internet control to the UN and particularly China. That's one of the main countries that is working with this. And I'll read through this for you real quick, and then I will wrap this up and allow you guys to do your own research. I'll put a link for the CNN video, I will put a link for the Hacker News article, and I will put a link for the Political Insider News article about Obama giving internet control over to China. I feel like this is something much deeper. I feel like this should be treason. This should be against the law. This sounds like war tactics going on behind the scenes and in a very shady way. So please do your own research and see what you can do about this. Please share this video with anybody that you feel like may benefit from knowing about this. I'd say anybody who has an Android phone needs to watch this video and understand what is going on right now. Okay, so we'll get to the Political Insider here, and it says, America gives up internet control to the UN. Okay, and then you can see Obama here. And this is when he made the announcement, October 1st, 2016. Often we hear the clamoring about a free internet and net neutrality, and what they really mean is that they don't want the internet controlled by evil corporations, aka consumers, producers, and the free market. So it should be no surprise that Obama and his leftist cronies have handed over control of the internet to the UN and other countries that don't have American interests in mind. This can't stand. Obama wants to hand over ICANN, and that's ICANN, to the rest of the world. This is the organization that regulates and protects the internet for all of us, me and you. We need ICANN. It holds all domain names and has the ability to control what can and can't be on the internet. Potentially letting the United Nations and China control it would be a disaster for free speech. Okay, do you understand what this means? So ICANN stands for the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers. It is a non-profit organization that is responsible for the coordinating the maintenance and procedures of several databases related to the namespaces of the Internet, thereby ensuring the network's stable and secure operation. ICANN performs the actual technical maintenance work of the central Internet address pools and DNS root registries pursuant to the Internet Assigned Numbers Authority. Now, the function contract here for ICANN's primary principles of operation have been described as helping preserve the operational stability of the Internet, to promote competition, to achieve broad representation of the global internet community, and to develop policies appropriate to its mission through bottom-up, consensus-based processes. I mean, we basically need this. This is kind of like morality for the internet. Now, much of its work has concerned the internet's global domain name system, including policy development for internet internalization of the DNS system, introduction of new generic top-level domains, and the operation of root name servers. The numbering facilities ICANN manages through the Internet Protocol address spaces for IPv4 and IPv6, and assignment of address blocks to regional Internet registries. ICANN also maintains registries of Internet Protocol identifiers. Now, via The Economist, ICANN and its independence are still controversial, they say. Some, notably Ted Cruz, a Republican senator from Texas, and 4 state attorney generals who have sued to block the handover, argue that the handover amounts to giving away the internet. He says that it would allow governments in autocratic countries such as China, Iran, and Russia to have greater control over what is available online. Thank you, Ted Cruz and others, but it looks like Obama once again wants to sell us out to foreign interests. This is unacceptable. Okay, and then there's a video below with a congressman urging Obama administration not to turn over ICANN. So there's yet another video. There's a huge discussion about this. It's pretty controversial, so in a nutshell, he gave our internet over to the UN, and China primarily have control of that. So essentially, Obama, within the last month and a half, leading up to this election and everything, all the stress that everybody knew would come from this, no matter what the outcome, he hands all of our security over to the UN. He hands all of our security and our privacy over to China. And now, suddenly we find out that 700 million Android phones just so happen to have this backdoor privacy app pre-installed in them. There's no way to uninstall it, and all they're saying is, whoops, sorry. And they're still not telling anybody what the purpose of the data they're collecting is for. So if this isn't world news right now, I don't know what should be, but it definitely should be all over the place. So I hope this was informative for you today. Please share all of these articles and videos with whomever you can, especially, again, anybody who owns an Android phone. This is the type of things that are really serious right now. These are terrorist threats right here. We don't know what they're doing with this information. All of us all of us are being spied on. This is 1984, and we are living in an Orwellian society. So, don't become a victim, become aware. Spend at least 1 hour a week, if you can't do 1 hour a day, just scanning the world media. See what's going on out there. Just type in keywords like technology, November 2016. You'll be amazed what little, articles and stories the universe will land on your path, and what God will guide you to and the universe will guide you to that are things that are meant for you to know. So please, just turn off the TV sometimes and educate yourself outside of that, because there is a lot bigger issues going on in the world, and it's not global warming, and it's not Black Lives Matter, and it's not any of this LGBT fighting or division or transgender, or it's nothing to do with Democrats and Republicans. This is a race to divide humanity. And so we must become aware of what they're trying to do, because they smile in your face, and all the time they want to take your place. The backstabbers. So don't let them stab you in the back. Okay? Well, that is my message for all of you today. I hope you enjoyed this brief news story. And please share this video with your friends. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe to the channel by clicking on the bell. Stay up to date with updates and new videos. If this work has helped you in any way, I have a donation button available on my website, which helps keep the channel going. And my website is StashaEriksen.com. There you can find a video blog with a discussion forum. You can find books and personal readings and other services that I offer as well. So I look forward to connecting with all of you, and I hope this was helpful for you today. And I will be back soon with more news. Bye-bye.